Often, the election in November every 4 years is called simply the presidential election. People tune in to watch the presidential debates, they watch the news for information about the candidates, and then they vote in the fall. However, it isn't only the president that gets elected. There isn't merely two names on a sheet of paper that you choose between and then go on your merry way. There is a whole host of other candidates for different positions listed on the ballot in November that are often neglected by the public and by the media. Today, I will tell you what you can expect to see on the 2024 ballot besides just the president. Now, for the purposes of this video, I will be focusing on Morgantown, West Virginia. However, the information here should apply to most places within the United States. If you'd like to see about your situation and location specifically, you may go to vote.org. First off, after the president is the United States House and Senate seats. Now, these seats are up for re-election every 2 years, but for the Senate, since senators serve 6-year periods, only a third of the seats are up for re-election at any given 2-year period. Now, the House and the Senate aren't necessarily overlooked, but certainly not talked about as much as they should in regards to the 2024 November election. Consider that Congress has control over the national budget, impeachment proceedings, declarations of war and defense, and the signing of new bills into law. As a whole, Congress arguably controls more of our daily life than the president does. And so it's important that we take the time, the care, and the due diligence needed to elect the right people for that job and for your state. Next comes the state government seats. These include the governor, the secretary of state, the attorney general, the auditor, the commissioner of agriculture, the state house, the state senate, and the state treasurer. The state government's seats perform nearly identical function to their national counterparts, just at a more local level. This means that state officials have more of a immediate control over the lives of their constituents, those being us, the people. The state governments perform all duties not explicitly assigned to the national government by the Constitution, and those typically fall under health, welfare, and education. Health, welfare, and education are issues that concern American people daily and often make up a large majority of the issues that voters are concerned for. Namely, to say a few, are those of abortion and Roe v. Wade and the betterment of the United States education system. Lastly, there are local elections, typically at the county level. For Monongahela County, it's the West Virginia County Commissioner, County Assessor, County Prosecuting Attorney, County Surveyor, and County Sheriff. These positions oversee the operations of the county, determine property value, prosecute on behalf of the state, and control the justice and prison systems. County governments are often the most overlooked, but if you're engaged in law at all on a county level, the results of this election could heavily impact you in the future. And so it's important that you put as much thought and care into these elections as you would those of the national. So the presidential election not only determines the president, but it also determines how your tax dollars will be spent, whether or not certain legislation will be passed, the president's impeachment, global conflict, the proceedings of the state that you live in, how much the land your house is on is worth, and your imprisonment status for a crime you may commit in the future. So when you really think about it, is the person sitting in the Oval Office really the only thing to consider this November?